Hey guys, simple video today. Been getting a lot of questions asking about how to grip a racket. There are countless videos on YouTube, but I guess I would make mine. At least my take. I think I have a very standard take, but I might as well share because more content's always better. So here we have a racket that does need grip changing. 3U 100ZZ. I got fresh strungs on it, but before I sent it off, I didn't change the grip, and as you can see, quite dirty. So what you want to do first is you want to peel it off, right? Oh yeah. Oh, whoops. The original grip is coming off with that. That's not what I want. So a lot of people, depending on preference, will keep the original grip on. Some will take it off. I have found that for me, the perfect thickness is the original PU grip plus super grap over it. As you can see, very dirty. So you want to peel it off, and yeah, there's step one complete. I'll switch camera views and we'll kind of talk about this more. Alright, so I switched camera views, and basically, as you can see, I've gripped this racket a few times, so like there's a little bit of residue from where I started, and that's usually where I would start. So I usually will like start here. You get your preferred roll of super grap. I will do in a little bit how I grip towel rackets as well, so if you use towel, don't worry. Get one, and then I will peel off the plastic in the beginning altogether. Some people prefer to peel this off as they go. That's too difficult for me, so I would just take it off, and I peel off the sticker for the sticky end like this, boop, and then I will literally just line it up where the old spots were, because like this is gonna always end up happening, so you might as well just ruin the same spot over and over again compared to like picking a different spot every time. And then there's like two main schools of thought here. Some people, when they start out the wrap, they will wrap it like once like this, and then just like immediately start going. And then some people will wrap around here a few times with the intent of making the bottom a little bit thicker than the top. And the goal of that is when you're holding your racket near the bottom of the shaft or the handle, it won't slip out of your hand, because it's like your pinky will bump against the thicker end of the handle basically. I kind of am a fan of this, so what I'll usually do is I'll wrap it around like 1.5 times and then just start. And then if I get like, you know, this like loose spot here, I don't know, I can't see the camera angle. If I get a loose spot here, I'll just go back a little bit and be careful about there, and then yeah, there we go. As for holding this, I used to actually think that you needed to stretch it out, and when I stretched it out, I was left with like half of this left, and it worked. But it turns out that if you just like hold it taut, so it's just like tight enough that there's no slack, this actually offers like better grip. Because like my original thesis was that if I pulled it tight, I could make these little wrinkles, and I thought the wrinkles meant better grip, but no, just hold it like regular tautness. Don't let it be loose, but don't stretch it out. And yeah, you just wrap it. I usually just follow the edge. Give myself, I don't know what this is, like, I don't know the exact number, maybe like 1/4 of an inch of thickness. Honestly, just don't think about it too much. Just wrap it around. The first few times you do this, you're probably gonna mess up, and that's okay. Grips are like replaceable. They're supposed to be replaced, so like you mess it up once, it's fine, unless it's like really affecting your performance, then like try and regrip it or try again. But if it's like just an aesthetic thing, like I wouldn't worry too much. And yeah, There we go. So for my 3E rackets, I leave this thumb cap area exposed. So I usually just like will finish it off like just like that. I actually have a pretty bad finish off technique. So that's how I finish it off. I will get my favorite brand of scissors, Westcott's, and then just cut it off like that. And then while I have some extra here. So what I talked about earlier was when I had like the way I used to grip my rackets was that I would actually like stretch it out like this. And like that actually is not good. Like it actually feels like better and grippier and lasts longer if you just like have it at regular tightness. So if you buy it in a 30 pack, it will come like this. If not, it will come just individually assembled with the different grips. And then you peel off the little square first. And then you will put that here on the edge like this. And then I kind of just like do this little maneuver, peel off the rest. Some people prefer to use the entirety of this, and they will keep wrapping it around and around. Some people will like me. Typically, I will just wrap it around twice because I think using all of this is excessive, like that, and then boom, call it a day. Like, again, it's not the prettiest. Like, some people will kill me for having this much overlap, but I frankly do not care. It works for me. And that's how I would grip like a normal racket. Moving on to a towel racket. Let me pause the camera. Alright guys, so this is a towel grip racket. Again, it's a 3U 100ZZ. And as you can see, right away, one of the mistakes I have is I did not put an undergrip on this. So a lot of people, when it comes to towel grips, they like to rip it bare naked like this. But the problem with doing something like this is that eventually like sweat will get through the towel, and you kind of like have this like, you get a lot more residue and sticky stuff and build up from like past grips than if you were to like, you know, wrap this with like electrical tape first or some of that cushion grip or whatever. So far, like, this is a lost cause, as you can see. So I just like, whatever, we'll keep using it until this handle rots away, basically. But towel grip is a little bit different. So what I will do is I will take the end, because it's just one long like piece, is I will start usually here, and what's important here is that like it's only at half thickness. And the reason why is when I wrap it around, I will typically do this. I will bend it across the butt of the handle to kind of wrap around the handle. I don't know why. I think that's just an aesthetic thing, and also because it like helps the racket look a bit more complete. So yeah, aesthetic thing. But anyways, you'll wrap it around like this. That's fine if that goes off because you've already measured it. Just make sure you don't lose your place. You don't want overlap. You want as much coverage as possible. And there's a few ways, depending on your preference and how far up you want to grip this. You can do like the Lin Dan style. And if you want to do Lin Dan style, you probably would just, you know, hold it up maybe even here as extreme as just this much. So like only this much is toweled. I have experimented with this in the past. I don't like it as much. So I typically do what like Victor Axelsen does in his towel grip tutorial. And I'll just try and towel it up all the way so that wood is not exposed. And I've always found for some reason when measuring it, it doesn't like match up to like when reality when you're actually gripping it. So like even though it says like this should be enough, I will typically cut it maybe like out here just to give me some coverage and some buffer in case that I'm wrong, because you can't like cut this twice. You can, but it looks ugly. So what you do after then is you will peel it off. And that's just like, you know, bending this layer and peeling off the back. Poof. And then again, you get the half, you measure it around, and then I typically will start down here first, and then I'll push this down like this. And then just give it a good punch, make sure it's covered. Yeah, and you've got the handle, the butt of the handle down. And then the rest of it is pretty similar, if not slightly easier compared to like super grip, because there's adhesive all the way. You don't really have to hold it, and you don't have to measure it. So from there, you just kind of make sure there's no big gaps between the layers or the wraps. And you just keep going. So for me, I will typically stop it right here, because there's just no way I can perfectly cover this part, but it's efficient because I can use the thumb grip here, and then I can put my forehand here to rest. So for me, this is a suitable compromise, so I will probably just cut it off right there, and I call that a day. That is a toweled grip for me. One last thing I did want to show you is I will not be gripping this racket. I just did want to show you that, like, for me, doubles rackets are gripped the exact same way, except I grip them up all the way to the thumb cap, simply because I use this area a lot for like short serves and like net play. So I wrap it up all the way for my 4U rackets. And this is also a good way for me to identify easily from my bag if this is a 3U or a 4U racket, because I use 100ZZ. I have like 5 frames at the moment, so 2 3Us and 3 4Us, so easy way to differentiate them, because I use the same color as well. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. If you guys have like a different technique or something, that would be cool to know. Let me know in the comments below. Tell me if my technique is wrong. But at the end of the day, guys, like, it's really just preference. It's really, does this feel right in your hands? You can definitely use other people and videos and your favorite pro player, if they have a video of how they grip the rackets, as inspiration. But at the end of the day, you're holding a racket, so it's like a very personal thing. You need to find out what best suits you. Everyone's hands are different. So that being said, hopefully this does provide some direction. And yeah, until the next one, peace.